What if I told you that being good with money has very little to do with how smart you are? And what if I told you that financial success is not about math and spreadsheets, but about psychology and your own behavior? This might sound strange, but it is the main idea from one of the most important books about wealth and happiness. Stay with me, because today we are going to learn some timeless lessons that can change not only how you see money, but also how you see your own life and your personal growth journey. Hello and welcome to English Journey. My name is Celine, and I am so happy you are here with us today. Here at English Journey, we believe that learning English is about more than just grammar and vocabulary. It is a powerful tool to help you grow, learn new things, and build a better, happier life. That is why we create new videos for you every single day to help you grow personally while you master the English language. Today, we are exploring a fantastic book called The Psychology of Money by Morgan Housel. This book teaches us that our relationship with money is all in our minds. Understanding this is the first step to building real wealth and, more importantly, a happy life. If you're ready to learn and grow, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to our channel. When you subscribe, you join our global community of learners who are all working to build a brighter future. Make sure you watch until the end, because I will share the most important takeaways from the book, and there will be a short quiz to test your understanding. Let's begin our journey into the psychology of money. Part 1. Your unique money story. No one is crazy. Let's start with a very important idea. Your personal experience with money is unique. It is different from everyone else's. The way you think about money was shaped by your life, where you grew up, what your parents taught you, and the economic world you saw as a young adult. For example, someone who grew up during a time of high inflation, when prices were rising very fast, will see money very differently from someone who only experienced stable prices. A person who saw their family struggle with debt will have different ideas about risk than a person whose family was always comfortable. Because of this, people do things with money that might look crazy to others. The book gives an example of low-income families spending hundreds of dollars on lottery tickets. From a logical view, this might not seem smart. But for someone who feels they have no other chance to get the things that wealthier people have, buying a ticket is buying a dream, a small hope. To them, it makes sense. The author, Morgan Housel, says that no one is crazy. We all make financial decisions based on our own unique history and the information we have at the moment. Your worldview is shaped by the small part of the world you have seen. So, the first lesson is to understand yourself. Think about your own life experiences. How did they shape your feelings about money, risk, and saving? Understanding your own money story is the first step. It also helps us understand others without judgment. We can see that they are not crazy. They are just playing a different game, with different rules shaped by their own life. This is a powerful lesson for your English journey too. Everyone learns differently because everyone has a different background and different experiences. Be patient with yourself and with others. Understand your own journey and respect the journey of others. Part 2. The two sides of success, luck and risk. The next idea is something we often forget when we look at successful people, the powerful roles of luck and risk. We love to read stories about famous investors or business leaders. We study their decisions and try to copy them. But we often miss a key part of their story, luck. Success is never just the result of hard work and smart decisions. Luck often gives people a special advantage. For example, a successful technology founder might have had a rare, one-in-a-million opportunity when he was young, like having access to a computer when almost no one else did. This early luck gave him a head start. Of course, his hard work and vision were important. But we cannot ignore the role of that lucky opportunity. Now, let's talk about the other side of luck, risk. Risk is also a 1-in-a-million event, but it is a bad one. For every person who gets a lucky break, there is another person who might have a terrible, unlucky event happen to them. They might have the same skills and work just as hard, but a random event can stop their journey. So, what does this mean for us? First, it means we should be humble. When we succeed, we must remember that luck likely helped us. When we fail, it doesn't always mean we made bad decisions. We might have just been unlucky. Second, we should be careful about who we admire and try to copy. The more extreme and amazing a success story is, the more likely it is that luck played a very big role. Copying the exact steps of a billionaire is difficult because you cannot copy their luck. Instead of focusing on specific, famous individuals, it is better to look for broad patterns. Look for general rules and behaviors that many successful people follow. For example, many studies show that people who have control over their time are happier. This is a general pattern you can apply to your own life. It is much more useful than trying to copy one person's lucky journey. Remember this in your English learning. Sometimes you will have a lucky day where everything feels easy. Other days might feel difficult, like bad luck. Don't focus too much on these single moments. Focus on the broad pattern. Consistent practice over time leads to success. Part 3. Getting wealthy versus staying wealthy. Here is an internal hook for you. What do you think is harder, making a lot of money or keeping it? Most people would say making it is harder. But the book argues that keeping money is often the more difficult challenge. The skills you need for each are very different and often opposite. Getting money often requires taking risks. It requires being optimistic and putting yourself out there. You might have to make a big bet on an idea that you believe in. However, staying wealthy requires the opposite. It requires humility and the fear that you could lose what you have made. It is not about taking big risks anymore. It is about survival. It is about understanding that the success you had in the past might have involved luck, and that luck might not continue forever. The world is full of stories of people who made fortunes and then lost them all. A successful investor might have a huge win and start to believe he is a genius who cannot lose. This confidence makes him take bigger and bigger risks until he loses everything. His success was a bad teacher. It tricked him into thinking he could not fail. So, how do you stay wealthy? The key is a survival mindset. You need to focus on staying in the game for a long time. The most successful people are the ones who are able to stick around for decades without being wiped out by a single bad decision. This means you need a good defense. It is like building a strong castle. You need to protect what you have. This means being a little bit afraid of losing it all. That fear is healthy. It makes you think carefully before you risk what you have for something you don't need. This lesson is incredibly important for your personal growth. Think about your progress in English. Getting motivated to start is one thing. But staying motivated for years is the real challenge. You need a survival mindset. You need to build habits that protect your progress. Don't risk burning out by studying too hard for 1 week. Instead, focus on a sustainable pace that you can keep for a long, long time. Staying in the game is how you win. Part 4. The power of compounding. Time is your secret weapon. Now, let's talk about one of the most powerful forces in the universe, compounding. This might be the most important lesson for building wealth over your lifetime. What is compounding? It is the idea that your money can make money. And then, the money that your money made can also start making money. It sounds simple, but its effects are amazing. Imagine you plant a small tree. In the first year, it grows a little. In the second year, it grows a little more. But over 50 years, that small tree can become a giant, towering oak tree. Compounding is like that. At first, you don't see much progress. The results are so slow they are almost invisible. But over a long period, the growth becomes explosive. The book explains that the real secret to many of the world's greatest investors is not that they were the best at picking stocks. Their secret is that they have been investing for a very, very long time. One famous investor, for example, started investing when he was just 10 years old. Most of his massive fortune was not earned when he was young or middle-aged. It was earned after he was in his 60s. Why? Because he gave his money many decades to compound. His skill was investing, but his secret was time. This shows us that you don't need to earn the highest returns to become wealthy. You just need to earn pretty good returns that you can stick with for the longest possible time. Consistency is more important than big, rare wins. The human brain has a hard time understanding compounding. We think in straight lines. We don't naturally think in explosive curves. Because the results are not immediate, we often give up too soon. We don't let the oak tree grow. This is a lesson you must apply to your English learning. In the first few months, your progress might feel slow. You might not see big changes. It is easy to get discouraged and quit. But if you stick with it, your small, daily efforts will start to compound. Your vocabulary will connect to your grammar. Your listening skills will improve your speaking. After a few years, you will look back and be shocked at how far you have come. So, be patient. Trust the process. The secret to mastering English, just like building wealth, is time. Keep showing up and let the magic of compounding work for you. Part 5. Knowing when to say enough. Capitalism is very good at two things: generating wealth and generating envy. This brings us to a very human problem that can destroy wealth and happiness: the social pressure of always wanting more. It is human nature to compare ourselves to others. A person making a good salary might feel poor if they are on a team with a superstar who makes 10 times more. That superstar might compare himself to a billionaire and also feel like he doesn't have enough. The goalpost is always moving. This feeling of not enough is a dangerous trap. It can make smart people do very foolish things. The book tells a generalized story of a very successful man who was worth $100 million. He had everything he could ever want. But he was envious of billionaires. He wanted to reach that next level. This envy pushed him to take illegal risks to make more money faster. In the end, he lost his reputation and his freedom. He risked something he had and needed, his freedom and reputation, for something he didn't have and didn't need, even more money. The lesson here is to learn the skill of saying enough. You have to know when you have enough. If you don't, your desire for more will grow faster than your income, and you will never feel happy. You will always be running on a treadmill, never feeling satisfied. This is called the hedonic treadmill. There is nothing wrong with ambition. But ambition without satisfaction is a curse. The hardest financial skill is to get the goalpost to stop moving. This is not just about money. It applies to every part of your life, in your career, in your hobbies, and even in your English learning. It is good to have goals. But it is also important to appreciate your progress. Celebrate how far you have come. Don't always look at someone who is fluent and feel that you are not good enough. That feeling can lead to burnout. Instead, find happiness in the process. Be proud of the level you are at now, even as you work to get to the next one. Knowing what is enough for today is a path to peace and sustainable growth. Part 6. True wealth is what you don't see. What does it mean to be wealthy? When we see someone driving a fancy car or living in a huge house, we often think, wow, that person is wealthy. But the book teaches us a very important difference between being rich and being wealthy. Being rich is about your current income. A high income allows you to buy expensive things. When you see someone spending a lot of money, you are seeing that they are rich. But being wealthy is different. Wealth is what you don't see. Wealth is the money you have saved and invested. It is the money you have not spent. Wealth is financial assets in the bank that can give you options and freedom in the future. It is possible to be rich but not wealthy. Someone could earn millions of dollars a year but spend all of it. They look rich, but they have no wealth. One day, if their income stops, they will have nothing. On the other hand, true wealth is hidden. It is quiet. It is the choice to not buy the fancy car, to not upgrade the house, to not buy the expensive watch. Every time you save money instead of spending it, you are building wealth. The problem is that it is easy to find rich role models. We see them everywhere. But it is hard to find wealthy role models because wealth is invisible. We learn by imitating others, but we can only imitate what we can see. So we see people spending money and think that is the goal. We try to copy them, which has the opposite effect of building wealth. It destroys it. The highest form of wealth is the ability to wake up every morning and say, I can do whatever I want today. It is about having control over your time. It is about having the freedom to choose your work, to take a vacation, to spend time with your family, or to retire when you want. This freedom and control is the highest dividend money can pay. So, the next time you think about money, don't just think about what you could buy. Think about the freedom and control you could build. That is the real goal. True wealth is not about showing off. It is about having options. And that is a powerful, motivational goal for anyone. Part 7. The importance of a margin for error. The future is a surprise. No one can predict what will happen next year, let alone in the next 10 or 20 years. Because we cannot predict the future, we need to have a plan for when our plans don't work. This is called a margin for error or a margin of safety. A margin of error is a buffer. It is extra room for the unexpected things in life. Think about building a bridge. If engineers expect the bridge to hold 10,000 cars, they don't build it to hold exactly 10,000 cars. They build it to hold 20,000 or 30,000 cars. That extra capacity is the margin for error. It protects the bridge from unexpected stress. We need to do the same with our finances. If you are living with no savings, any small emergency, a car repair, a medical bill, can become a disaster. You have no room for error. But if you have an emergency fund, if you live below your means, and if you are not invested in a way that is too risky for you, then you have a buffer. You have room to handle life's surprises without being destroyed by them. Having a margin of error is the key to that survival mindset we talked about earlier. It is what allows you to stay in the game long enough for compounding to work. It gives you endurance. It also gives you flexibility. When you have a financial cushion, you can take advantage of opportunities when they appear. You can change careers, start a business, or invest when others are fearful. This is not just about having extra cash. It is a way of thinking. It is about being conservative in your plans. Don't assume everything will go perfectly. Assume things will go wrong. Plan for it. If you plan for things to be difficult, then you are prepared. If things go well, then that's a happy bonus. You can apply this to your English learning journey. Don't plan your schedule so tightly that one missed day will ruin your whole week. Give yourself a margin for error. Plan to study 5 days a week, not 7. That way, if you are sick or busy one day, you are still on track. Build a plan that has room for life's imperfections. This is how you create a learning system that lasts. Recap and takeaways. We have learned so much today. Let's review the main lessons from the psychology of money. Asterisk number 1. No one is crazy. Your financial decisions make sense to you based on your unique life experiences. Understand your own money story. Asterisk number 2. Luck and risk are powerful. Success is not just about effort. Acknowledge the roles of luck and risk in your life and in the lives of others. Asterisk number 3. Stay in the game. The secret to building wealth is not about getting the highest returns, but about staying invested for the longest time. Survival and consistency are key. Asterisk number 4. Compounding is your superpower. Be patient and let time do the hard work. Small, consistent efforts lead to amazing results over the long term. Asterisk number 5. True wealth is freedom. Don't confuse being rich, having a high income, with being wealthy, having savings and freedom. The greatest thing money can buy is control over your time. Asterisk number 6. Always have a margin for error. The world is unpredictable. Build a buffer in your finances and your plans to survive the inevitable surprises. I hope these ideas have inspired you. If you found this summary helpful and motivational, please give this video another like and subscribe to English Journey if you haven't already. Your support helps us create more content to help you grow. And now, get ready for our short quiz. Quiz. This helps your brain remember what you have learned. Please write your answers in the comments below. I love reading your responses. Question 1. According to the book, why is no one crazy when they make financial decisions? Question 2. What is the main difference between being rich and being wealthy? Question 3. What is the secret to making compounding work for you? Question 4. Why is it important to have a margin for error in your plans? Take your time to think and share your answers below. I can't wait to see what you've learned. Conclusion. Thank you for joining me, Celine, on this episode of English Journey. The ideas in the psychology of money are about so much more than just money. They are about life, happiness, and understanding ourselves. Remember that books are one of the most powerful tools you have. They can grow your English, and they can grow your life. Keep learning, keep growing, and keep believing in your journey. You are capable of amazing things. I will see you in our next video tomorrow.